So, the Madison market is an interesting one. Our family's been here since the 1920s, and we're on about our 90-something year. But it's been a lot of ups and downs along the way there, too. We're started with one location, clearly, and we're up to 7 now, and most of that's been in the last 30 years. But it's a market that's ever-changing and influenced greatly by the University of Wisconsin, some other colleges that are in town. Very heavy-duty academic influence here. You've got U.S. and state government here. There a lot of union influence, a lot of information around. But at the same time, you've got a high expectation in our restaurants, in any of the public areas of the city. The arts are strong. So we've got a lot of expectations out there among the customer base. The cremation rate, we expect it to climb and climb and climb, of course, and that's based on the stories on the street and what we've seen already. I suppose that a guy could say that in Wisconsin it's somewhere around the 35% mark. Madison is proud of itself and seems to think it should be closer to 70%. We're currently probably in the 55 to 60% range right now. And it will grow to that 70%, I think, in pretty short order. Again, the influence of the university, the medical community here is very strong on self-directed services. Hospice centers would certainly push that. The social work community is very strong and liberal here. But at the same time, I think their goal is to strive to have something meaningful, and that means that we've got to get better at what we do all of the time, and we need to offer flexibility. We need to offer facilities that are built for flexibility, as well as they're attractive and don't make you feel like you're closed in. Event planning comes from somebody that's creative, somebody that listens well, is an active listener, but can also give some ideas on experience, but not get stuck in a rut and do it like we've always done it. I think that being able to interview a family, being able to contribute, connect, I think the training side of that is just so key. Some days I think that there's a great waitress at my favorite restaurant that would do better at what I do than I do. And customer service clearly is up front. The expectation is so high for that in our communities that they're getting it everywhere they turn. So up to date on facilities too. There's so much you can do without rebuilding a whole building, but the expectations when somebody walks in the door is that you're going to give them an experience that is memorable, is fitting, feels good. Just use all of those emotions in there too. Your hearing, your touch. Whether it's we all talk about bringing in items a family brings in. Maybe it's the hammer that Grandpa used, or maybe it's the canoe that you paddled last time up in the Boundary Waters, whatever it might be. But there's other things that we can do too. The textures that you use in the building, just on a general basis, the windows, letting the light in, let them have an orientation outside. You close all the walls in, you feel like you're in a closed-in room. Leave some of the windows open, let them see the treetops or whatever might be out there. That can kind of orient them with the real world again out there too. So music, we're all, we've got our radio stations tuned to certain stations. That's fine. That might be my favorite music, but my customer sitting across the table might be thinking of something entirely different. And whether we bring in the UW marching band for the ending of the service by surprise, or bring in a four-piece dance band to play when the Saints come marching in, you know, whatever it might take to get them on track. Sometimes it's so simple, you just have to be a better listener. But as generational things go, I'm third generation. I certainly learned a lot from my dad and the people he had working around him, and the ability I had, or the opportunity rather, to train with some of those folks. You know, that's still ongoing. I think every age group coming through on our staff can bring us a wealth of information, a wealth of experience in what their age group is expecting out there for us to provide for them. And so apprentices coming in, we learn something from them. Retirees that are helping us as service assistants, boy, we can learn lots of things from them too. And so in the middle here, when we're trying to digest that and then put it back out on the table, is just it's a tough job some days. But you know, it's fun when it happens. You know, you think about being perfect all the time and shooting for perfection all the time. That's a great goal, and that's where we all should be pointing our whole effort at. And when you do that, the opportunity to maybe hit excellent, it gets there more often. So shoot for perfection. Hopefully you get to excellent, and have fun doing it all the way.